Guys, it was all a lie. It was all a lie. Did you see? The Washington Post just retracted their bombshell story, their massive story, where Trump apparently asked the Georgia Secretary of State to find the fraud. Go find it, right? Remember this one? It led an outrage cycle for an entire week. Guess what? Turns out it never happened. It didn't happen. What the hell is the Georgia Secretary of State doing when he knew that it wasn't the case? He was on the phone call, and the media tried to tar and feather my father for weeks about a call that didn't actually happen, where the details that were reported do not align with any of what's going on there. He never said, go find the fraud, you'll make yourself a hero. That was a lie. The Washington Post published it, but more importantly, every other media outlet ran with it. They then said, we've independently verified the accusations. Turns out, they didn't independently verify jack. They didn't, because it wasn't true. That was a lie. They just piggyback off of that work. It was a narrative that they wanted to believe because we can use it to hurt Trump. We can try to vilify him during the impeachment process. Look at how bad he is. Now nothing happens. How is this Georgia Secretary of State even still employed? How can this guy serve the people of Georgia? He's supposed to be a Republican, and he doesn't even point out that the conversation didn't happen that way because he's a hack. He's worried that the left will be mean to him. So if they're going after Donald Trump, it's politically expedient just to be quiet, just to take it. All of the Democrats that push this hoax, shouldn't they be somehow liable? I mean, if they're printing and publishing crap in the media, but of course nothing's going to happen to them because nothing does happen. Every Democrat used this thing, whether it be for impeachment or to talk negatively about Donald Trump or to just, get a little bit of airtime. It was all a fraud. Again, other outlets ran with it as though it was the gospel. Turns out it's true. So the Washington Post does this massive retraction, right? They say 2 months after publication of this story. Of course, it's 2 months later, right? Because they're never going to correct something at the time when it could actually help Donald Trump. But when it's way too late, the Georgia Secretary of State released an audio recording of President Donald Trump's December phone call with the state's top election investigator. The recording revealed that the Post misquoted Trump's comments on the call based on information provided by a source. Of course, it's always an anonymous source, right? It's never an actual person. It's always an anonymous source. We dealt with this for the entire 4 years of the presidency, right? Trump did not tell the investigator to, quote, find the fraud or say that she would be a national hero, in quotes, if she did. Instead, Trump urged the investigator to scrutinize the ballots in Fulton County, Georgia, asserting that she would find dishonesty, which wouldn't surprise probably any of us there, right? He also told her that the most important job in the country right now, that it's the most important job in the country right now, which it is, because if this stuff was going on, it's kind of a big deal. A story about the recording can be found here. The headline and the text of this story has been corrected to remove quotes misattributed to Trump. Oh, 2 months later, now, doesn't matter anymore. We get what we want. This has happened for years. They lie, they use fake sources, they use anonymous sources. Most of them probably don't even exist. That's the fraud of the mainstream media. And again, this isn't like a hack publication like Vox or the Huffington Post or one of those, crazy, BuzzFeed nonsense things. It's the Washington Post, the Bezos-owned Amazon Washington Post. We're now realizing that they're utilizing these sources as a weapon. They can do whatever they want to hurt you. Then they issue a retraction, and it all should be good. Honestly, I wish you had the ability to go after these people. They won't allow it to happen. It'll never happen. They did due diligence. Sure, they did. They did nothing. They heard a narrative that they wanted to believe, and they ran with it as though it was the gospel itself. That's what they did. If it was against a Democrat, they wouldn't print it. They'd try to verify. They'd go to incredible lengths to verify just to try to find maybe if it's not true. That's the difference. If you're a Republican, you got a target on your back. They will find you. They will do whatever they can to try to hurt you. If you're a Democrat, they're going to do and find whatever they can to give you the best.